I'm Chief Ibrahim A. Sarki, the district head of Waru, under Garki Chiefdom, Abuja Municipal Area Council, and this is my story.
I am Baron Joseph Okoli, Administrator, Igalamela Odolu Local Government Area of Kogi State, and this is my story.
I'm Senator ZAGURU, and this is my story.
My names are Dr. Prince Desmond Odinakachi Madekenwa Onomuju. This is my story.
HUSAYN ZAGURU is a singer, songwriter, and educational filmmaker. He takes us through his upbringing and the journey so far. Please stay tuned and be inspired.
My name is HUSAYN ZAGURU Abdelkader, but publicly I am known as HUSAYN ZAGURU, and I hail from Niger State. Though my dad is the one from Niger State, my mom is from Kogi State. Was born and bred in Kaduna. That's where I had my early childhood, and I come from a family of 11. I happen to be the 5th child of the whole family, and when I say I will say we are lucky because most of us went to the university. Out of the children, just very few didn't, and I majored in geology, did my postgraduate studies in development communication, and after that I still had the will to start doing the media stuff. And though it wasn't really what my parents wanted, they envisioned that I would have even been a medical doctor in the first place. But when I fell into reading geology, they still see me working in an office, getting a job, not knowing that I had something in my mind, and which is what I wanted to delve into the artistic world. And ever since I came back from service, that was in 2009, that was when I decided that, okay, I'm going to take the bull by the horn. And by this, I meant I was going to start up my artistic career. And now when you talk of this artistic career, it has to do a lot with my childhood still. Because when I was very young, my dad basically has this musical talent. He is somebody that loves music. He makes covers of prominent musicians back then in the 60s and 70s. So I think I was the one out of the family that was really going after him, and that was happening maybe let me say it subconsciously or unconsciously with me. So where I was growing up, even when I was in the secondary school, though we were science based, but we were the one running the press club, doing the literary, presenting dramas every week, every Fridays, so stuff like that. But at the end of it all, when I was off the hook, I decided that, okay, I'm going to start making my own dream to become an artist or an educational filmmaker. And this thing actually, it wasn't easy because, really you need what most people will tell you that even if it's business, you need a starting point, you need fund, you need some. But mine, I was very lucky that in 2011, there was this program that the federal government of Nigeria enacted, which was the Youth Enterprise with Innovation in Nigeria, UWI. I happened to be one of the lucky winners of that program. And that program was what brought me to the spotlight, because that program was supposed to be like my launch pad. It was what I used to launch my first movie ever, which I solely produced and directed. Okay, so after then, I started delving into so many productions, doing the movie stuff, documentaries. I did a documentary with the EU. It was a sensitization program for water and sanitation, producing a series for 13 episodes for kids actually, and so many. So after premiering my first movie, there was these other issues that came up. A lot of people wanted me to now produce, direct for them, and I have actually, will I say, it's not like a standard, but it's like a choice or like a taste. You know, the normal human being, when you have this appetite for food, you don't just eat anything. You have a specific appetite and taste for a particular kind of food you eat. So the same thing goes for me when it comes to the movie making. I don't just jump or grab any kind of script. In fact, preferably, I love to write the script myself and look at the story and see how I could actually shape it to be something out of the box, something creative, something that is not just for the sake of consumption, like entertainment. I love doing things outside the box, and I think sometimes some people seem it to be weird, kind of, or maybe you're just trying to be too strange. But really, I think that's what brings the creativity and the beauty of your artistic talent. And when I was doing that, some people were now beginning to understand that, oh, this guy have something upstairs. Then a new phase came in of trainings. Okay, I was now called upon to start training some young people on, in fact, the very basic foundation of the movie making itself, which is the scripting. How do you acquire the story? How do you get a script that can get someone gripped? How can you get someone seated, enchanted by your story? So I was really engaged in this for like some few years, training here and there, and people were now appreciating what I was doing. Then something came up. I was thinking I was doing too much, but as an artistic person, you don't have a limit. I now realized that my musical talent too was twitching me somewhere. And in 2015, I released my first debut musical video, which actually went like a storm, because people were like, wow, this guy, you're doing movies, now you're into music again. And no, it wasn't like that. That's what sparked that musical video was, in 2015 we had these issues of the internally displaced persons, and I just felt like something we could do to help these people, to pass the message. What I did in that video was actually to showcase what actually children, the internally displaced children, face after the insurgency. And it was well portrayed in that video, and people actually talked much about it. But basically, the movie and the entertainment industry have been very promising, because as you can see right now, we have a lot of people that are coming up with new ideas, and people are coming up with rich content, competitive materials that can actually stand the market outside there. My dad is someone that is kind of he's a disciplinarian, and really actually it was tough, because I will tell you that as way back as when I was in the primary school, I was meant to be reading some books that were way beyond my head. It was like a task. Okay, this is this book, read it. After 2 weeks, my dad will now sit me on the hot seat and start asking me questions from that same book, and I have to answer. And things like that actually, though later on I saw the use of that because it helped me a lot. We were doing things that were way beyond our, let me say, the brain can take. But I think, or let me say, I feel then our dad was just doing it to just groom us up and prepare us for what was coming. Though they were not finding it funny, but it was a very tedious task for us to do. And one other thing again was that my dad had this notion that he wanted everyone to be a medical doctor in his house. So what he was doing actually was he was mentally, physically, and even psychologically preparing me to become a doctor. So it was a tug of war. I have been in science. All my life it's science. In fact, theoretically I am a scientist, but practically I am an artist. That's just the truth of the whole thing.
There's what you call grand corruption, petty corruption, and systemic corruption.
Free education is the cheapest project the government can embark, unlike construction.
Small issues like light, steady power supply. For me, that's the biggest issue.
We need to look at socio-political, economic foundations and resilience organizations for our teenagers.
Leadership is an opportunity for you to serve other people. And if you are not willing to serve, you have no business being in leadership.
Coming this far, actually, it's a very, 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 very long journey. A very long journey which comes with persistence and patience, the 2 P's like I call them. Because actually, a lot of people in my shoes would have just dropped out and said, okay, I want to let go and let me just go and be doing the normal thing. But no, if you are persistent and you are patient, I'm telling you, it's just a matter of time. It will come. The first day I did my movie, I never believed I could shoot my own movie. I've had that dream for like 10 years before that time. And I was thinking, okay, I had to like do this before it comes out. I was just being patient and persistent in what I was doing. I believed in what I was doing. Then I was making contacts with the right people, getting information, which is very key too. Trying to understand, okay, how do I have to do this? Money, people will tell you that money is involved, yes, but you still need to have some basic key information that will even help you in getting that money or fund that is required in achieving whatever you want to do. So what I would just say is that coming that far to that journey, the basic drivers that drove me to this point was just being patient and being persistent in all I was doing, because I've been so passionate about my talent. It's original. It's not like I'm trying to like be a copycat. So definitely, if you tell me that I have to stop this, invariably, it's like you are telling me that I should stop breathing. So I can't just let go of it. So that's just how the journey has been, and we are still on the journey. My motivations, they come from various angles. Basically, they come from people out there who I look up to as mentors, whom I see they've made it or they've made a mark and they align or we operate on the same page. So basically, these are the people actually that inspire me, motivate me to do what I do today. Because really, in your life, if you don't have role model, if you don't have mentor, then basically you need to look back. Because these are the things that will drive whatever you are doing. In life, whatever someone is doing, he has a mentor he's looking up to, he has a role model. And it's not everybody that can be a role model or mentor. Your role model and mentors will have to be people that think and operate the way you also think. So I've looked at these things and it's been helping me. That's on that note. On the other side, it's the environment I live. You see, I live in an environment basically that is very challenging, and definitely it inspires you to do. You see a lot of inspiring things. You see people that have done a lot of very interesting things from nowhere. In fact, Nigeria basically here is where you see a lot of people that have started things from grass to grace. So that alone is an inspiring avenue for you to look up to and say, oh look, I'm not alone in this fight. Day in, day out, I meet people that are of the same view with me. We are in the same shoes and we discuss ideas, brilliant ideas, and we come up with different projects and we work it out, and we are networked. We network in different kind of activities. Being in the artistic and entertainment industry is not basically just being on one side of the world. You are networked. There is a global and IT age where you share ideas, and this alone are inspirational and motivational factors that also guides everyone that is in the entertainment industry. I'm not the kind of person that actually believe in the issue of luck. I do believe in destiny actually, But some people will intertwine it, say, okay, destiny is still luck, luck is destiny. But the truth is this, I believe what is yours, and what is not yours is not. So the only thing is that you won't know what is not yours or what is yours if you don't try, if you don't take that step. So I believe that you need to work, you need to take that step, that giant leap of faith, like people call it, to start doing something. Okay, you believe in this, so you won't just sit down and start expecting that manna should drop from heaven and miracles should happen. No, you need to start working to actualize your dream. So though people might say you are lucky, you're just one out of those few millions and hundreds are out there that don't even have, are not even where you are right now. Okay, fine, I am lucky because I have done my homework, or I'm doing my homework, because like I said earlier on, I've been patient, I've been persistent, and I've been committed to my passion. I have sticked to what I've been doing. I have not deviated. In fact, I've been diversifying into various forms of the artistic world. And in fact, not to attest to those facts, I've received a lot of nominations from different organizations. In fact, last 2 years, that was in 2016, there was this major nomination that I received from the African Youth Awards that was organized for African entrepreneurs and entertainers. I was nominated alongside with Mr. Easy, Matt Angel, and the rest. I saw myself in the same category, and I was like, wow, seriously? Stuff like that, you don't know where these things can take you. People out there are watching what you're doing. I did some videos some few months back, and when I posted it on YouTube, the next thing you see, it's going viral, and people were commenting, asking, how did you do this? Please, we want to learn from this. So these are the kind of things that will make you feel that, like, people will keep it in quotes, that is, you are lucky. Fine. If luck is all about achieving success or inspiring or adding positive maybe values to people's life, then I feel lucky. Yes, I am lucky. Yeah, I am. Passing through difficulty as a child really is not a deterrent for you to become successful. In fact, I think it's the other way around. You need to even pass through that difficulty for you to be successful. Anyway, it's just my own sincere opinion. It's subject to whatever, but look at it in this way. Because a child that does not undergo some kind of difficulty, I'm not saying maybe difficulty in terms of abuse, maybe physical or sexual kind of abuse, but in terms of, okay, trying to understand the rigorous form of life, understand what it means to earn a living. Not that you just have to go and be stealing, be doing petty theft here and there, but when you understand from childhood that you need to work, you need to render a service for you to be paid, or you need to render a skill of yours, then for you to get something in return. At that stage, you're already building your spirit. You're already harnessing your entrepreneurial spirit, which is going to help you at the long run. Because right now in the world that we are, it's two things. It's what you give. You can't give what you don't have. So if you don't have it, you end up being an armed robber or someone on the highway. So you see, at the childhood, if you experience some of those difficulties, those difficult terrain, where you now reach this stage where you are now maybe balanced, you can now make decisions for yourself, you won't be troubled much. Hypertension will not have to be coming knocking at your door, because you've already understood how to manage stress at a very childhood stage. You've understood how to manage when things are turning upside down, so you'll be well balanced in life when you experience some of those difficult terrains, crossing the hurdles as a kid and as a child. I think it helps. Basically, it's my own personal opinion anyway. If I'm given the opportunity, in fact, like the popular phrase, turning back the hands of time, oh my God, I would love to do so many things, which actually that's the fault of my dad. Because then my dad did not see the artistic. Maybe he saw. I want to believe he saw it, but parents, they can be, okay, this guy, he's drifting towards art. No, I want him to be a doctor. In fact, he must be a doctor, So he saw that, because I knew there was a time we were like, I won't use the word suspended. We were like in secondary school then, okay, we were like, they just said we should go off. We shouldn't come back to the school for like a term, because we produced a drama then, which was so fearful to the students that they started running out of the hall, and they called us and like, the principal was like, what's wrong with you guys? You guys are even science-based students. Why are you doing this? So they now proscribed us, kind of. And my dad was like, you see, that he sent me to school and I'm going there doing drama. So he knew it. He saw it. He saw that I had that. So he was doing everything possible to push me out from the artistic world, and in fact up to even my university level. But you see, as God have it, when I got to university, I even finished. That's when I was a king of mind, and I decided that this is what I want. So actually, I would have loved to be like, let me be molded, let me be guided, let me be financed, let me be, brought up in an artistic world, given that chance, let me be given that room when I was a child. Let me explore all those talents I had. I would have, I think, added much more to what I had now. That was basically what I missed as a childhood. Most parents fail to communicate with their kids, irrespective of what stage, whether it's a difficult terrain or even if they are living in an affluent, environment. You need to communicate with this kid constantly, and I think that was one thing my dad did. I didn't say that I came from a very wealthy family. Yes, I know we struggled. I could remember how my dad was selling a lot of things then to really actually to see that we went to school. But there is something he keeps saying. He will come into the room and tell me that, look, Hussein, this life is more than this. All you need to do that you have something greater. I know you'll be a great person. You know the way they say it? They say, look, I know you will be a superman. Parents need to be telling their kids this, but most parents don't do it. Yes, even if you tell your child in the next 30 years, I know you will become the president of Nigeria. This is a child's mentality. You're like, I'll become the president. So he will be nursing that in his mind. So irrespective of what he's going through, he will be keeping that hope. That flame, it will be burning. But by the time you are a useless child, in fact you are a black sheep, you are this, in fact that alone is killing the child. The child also has his own battle to face. So by the time you now lose that, because after all my parents have even condemned me. They say I can never do it. I can never make it in life. They always say I'm a failure. So even if your kid is having deficiencies, never you expose the deficiency of your kid and telling him to the face. Give him that positive light. Tell him that, look, okay, even if I know you're having problem of drugs right now, I know that one day you become the minister of health and you'll be telling people to desist from this, and you keep doing that. That's at the family perspective. Now looking at the society has a lot of roles to play, and that depends on the kind of peer group you move with. The government at large have the greater responsibility of making sure that they put those infrastructures and let's say instruments that will help in curbing some of these societal ills that we find around. More empowerment programs that will deal with tackling the issues of youth, those that have undergone problems right from when they are in their childhood. There are a lot of youths now battling with the issue of drugs, battling with the issue of psychosocial disorder, dysfunctional attitudes, a lot of things like that. So you should have committees or parastatals that should be coming time to time to come to these environments. You have units to come to talk. Okay, we have a program, let it be free. It's a sensitization program. Come, let's see how we can talk to our youth. What are you doing if you are jobless? Let's see how we can incorporate you into doing one or two things. The government have that sole responsibility because they alone can provide that. And by the time they are providing this, definitely the youths will join. They will come in and say, yes, they want to associate themselves with that. So basically at the government level, this is a hierarchical kind of responsibility. But when you look at it, the government have more, because it is most often they say the head of the family is what people look up to. So when the government is doing something positive, people also will want to follow suit. Basically, I think this will help in curbing and cushioning that effect of people just losing hope and beginning to start thinking of disastrous effect like committing suicide, becoming menace to the society and stuff like that. As God will have it, right now even Nigeria, the entertainment industry is booming. So just look for somewhere and tap in and harness what you can do. And before you know it, you also become a success story. Success doesn't come just on a platter of gold, definitely, like because some people used to think it's something that comes overnight. No, it takes a step, and if you don't start taking that step now, that is where the problem is. If you keep dreaming that, okay, I want to do it, no, start now. The time for you to start, it's now. If you are envisioning that, okay, you want to make a movie or you want to make a record, I want to produce a song, no, stop doing that. Go to that studio now. Go to that, talk to that producer or that director, talk to him that you have a script, start it now. Your journey has started, and that is that's what it's all about. If you don't take that step, you can never make any positive mark. So you have to make up your mind that you are passionate and committed about what you want to do, and you have promised yourself that no matter what, you will not get to a point that you are going to lose hope, irrespective of the kind of hurdles you must have come across, because this life itself it's a struggle. The life itself is, you need to tussle here and there. But the beautiful thing about it is that as you are struggling, making mark, you are indirectly affecting or influencing the life of someone out there. It's up and down. As you're looking up to someone, somebody below you there is also looking up to you. So you are the middle. So you need to keep moving in that light. And as you are making your mark, keep inspiring and motivating people. Never let down anyone about anything. Always look up to what you do and appreciate all what you have. And on this note, I want to say that basically, this is my story.
And that's it on My Story Today. For your comments and suggestions, please send a text or WhatsApp message to 0806 004 2843. Thank you for staying tuned.